Says it's supposed to. Or but it doesn't. Okay.
And you guys let me know if you can't see me or hear me, okay? On Zoom. Cross it comfortably. Cross the legs at the center of your shins. Nose front thighs in. Rub the backs of the thighs. And the pelvic floor. Bring the sitting bones down, drawing the sacrum in and up. Lift the central channel. Tail to the head. Lift the base of the skull off the back of the neck, so the back of the neck is long like a swan. Release the inner thighs to the inner knees and keep the legs releasing down. Make your teacup hands and press into your support. Root the outer hips and thighs down, release the inner thighs. And lift the sides of the body up, outer hips to armpits. And then find the reverse C in the armpit chest. So maintain the lift of your side body. And hook your thumbs under your armpits, like the banker's pose, they call it. Lift that armpit chest. Yeah, there we go. Lift that up. So the back of the armpit to the front of the armpit up. And then you draw a line over and the inner edge of the shoulder blades down. So when you firm the shoulder blades on the back, don't pinch them together. Stay broad across the upper back and the collarbones and round them down a little and firm them on the back. And then bring your hands back to your thighs. So that's your mid-back core. The firming of the shoulder blades on the back supports your upper back and your chest. So, but don't pinch, right? And maintain the lift of the center and the sides of the body. And let your eyes look down, or you can close your eyes and observe your breath here. For a few moments of silence and breathing. Begin to naturally lengthen your inhale and your exhale. Make that soft sound in the back of your throat, swirl the breath. At the back of the, think back of the nasal passages rather than the throat, go higher. And make that soft sound like the ocean in your shell. And this helps you lengthen the breath. It constricts the nasal passages slightly at the back of the throat, top of the nose. And it also warms the breath. Now bring your hands to prayer position. Thumbs to heart center. Lift the heart. And lift the sternum, bottom to top. Press the thumbs to sternum. Lift the upper arm bones and roll them back, bringing the shoulder blades on the back. And draw the elbows down as you lift the center of the body up. And we'll chant our opening chant all together. Take a deep breath in. Together. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a deeper breath, lift and open the heart. And then as you exhale, release your head over forward, chin towards your chest, and release your hands down to your thighs. And pause here for a few breaths. Then releasing the head down, soften the front of the throat, draw the trachea towards the back of the neck and the sides of the throat, towards the back of the neck and base of the skull. Release the base of the skull away from the top of the neck. Maintain the lift of the center and side body and curl your chin in towards the notch in between your clavicles, your clavicular notch. This is Chandra Bandha, the throat seal, as we do bridge and shoulder stand. It's a soft seal, always. Let the energy drain out of your brain and your eyes and your other senses down into your heart center and into your sensing and feeling body. Come out of your brain and into your body. And see if you can reside there for the remainder of the session. With your eyes closed, on an inhale, slowly curl up the back of your neck, leveling your ears over your shoulders. And then keeping your eyes closed, raise your gaze. And then before you open your eyes, lean back just a little so you're really dropping down into your seat. And take your eyes to the back of your head as well. And soften and broaden your internal focus. And imagine before you open your eyes that you're looking around from your skin, from your heart, from your whole body, not just your eyes. Like sensing and feeling, not just yourself, but the space you're in. And then allow your eyelids to gently close open. You go and extend your legs. And then we'll come down into lie down. So we're going to do some somatic work on the floor and we do a little bit of floor work. So I suggest you move down a little bit this way. You're all kind of crammed into that corner. And or Susan, you want to come over here? And she's happy over there. Or here. Yeah. Deborah's going to squeeze in here. If you come somewhere over here, I think that's better. And then Mia and Spiny, you can just move that way, we can move that. Then we have a little space side to side, and we do some side to side things. Okay, so go ahead and take a blanket and open your blanket on the mat like this. So long. And you roll along the length of the mat like that. Okay, so then you come out onto your back, now you're back in Shavasana. Oh, well, I'll see you guys in about an hour. So, at this time of year, I think we all get a little whack at these, huh? Yeah. So it's a good time to be a little bit more gentle with yourself. So we're gonna do that a little bit today, you know how I am, it starts gentle. The fierce two comes out, but we're gonna do our best. So go ahead and straighten your legs out if you're able, so the rest of your legs straight and your feet, you know, out of a quick distance, let your feet fall apart. And when you take your arms out to the side, so if you go straight out like a T, your shoulders engage. If you're too close to your body, your armpits engage. So be about a 45-degree angle from your body. Okay, so that's halfway between the T and along the sides of your body. And then when you extend the arms, relax. So Shavasana means horse pose. Right? So it's letting go, it's a practice in letting go. So observe your body as you're here and sense and feel the alignment of your body in Shavasana. There was a great yoga teacher, Eric Shipman, he's retired. He wrote a great book called Moving into Stillness, big bear of a guy. And he was a big teacher in LA back in the 80s, 70s even. And he said the first thing you should do in the morning when you get up is Shavasana on the floor, Yeah, because when you meet the floor with the tension in your body, then you can really feel where you're engaging. Muscles can only engage And then they can release if you tell them to, right? But they get into these loops and patterns of constant engagement and never releasing, right? And that bypasses the brain, goes right into the central nervous system, spinal cord. And it's like in a loop that says always contract and never let go. Right, so you can't relax a muscle. You can either engage it or stop engaging it. Okay, so relaxing is a euphemism, but what it means is stop engaging, right? So observe where you're engaging without judgment. None of this has any judgment, okay? It's only about exploration, like you're an archaeologist, right? And you're excavating a site and you're really curious and interested about what's going on here, what's gone on to create this particular situation. Right? And even more importantly, what is the situation, right? What's holding on? How can you let it go? That's really the idea. Okay, and then observe, observe your feet, see how your feet are falling apart, right? Side to side. And observe if one foot falls out more than the other and how far apart your feet are. And then observe how that affects the rest of your body. Observe how that affects your legs, how the legs turn out, how the feet turn out affects how the legs turn out. Traveling up to where the leg meet into the hip socket, that's your hip joint, where your thighs meet in to your pelvis, is your hip joint, at the front and the side and the back and the inner thigh area. So observe how your legs feed into your hip joint and how the turning of the feet and legs affects the turning of the pelvis and vice versa, right? Observe that. Observe the buttocks, right? The lower back, the lower abdomen. Observe the torso, how the shoulder blades fall on the ground, and how that affects where your shoulders and arms are. Observe your arms, hands, and fingers, how your wrists and arms lay. Are they even? Is one turned out more than the other? Is one shoulder lifted higher or turned in more? Observe the upper back and the neck, collarbones. Observe how the head lays. Right, in the middle of the head, or tilted to one side, or turned to one side, or shifted to one side. And this is a good time to take off your glasses if you have on glasses, or your watch if you have on a watch or a Fitbit or anything. It's not going to calculate you're doing anything here. So, yeah. And then we'll bend the knees up one by one. Okay, so bring the feet about sit bone or hip width distance apart and a comfortable distance from your body, not too close, not too far. Okay, and we're going to do some arch and release, flatten and release, arch and flatten. This is a somatic exercise. So observe your lower back. There's a natural curve in your lower back. Okay, we're going to arch and flatten the lower back, but first we're just going to arch and release the lower back. So the first time you can just imagine, not even do. Second time you do a little, and third time you do a little more. So don't go to your maximum, go to your minimum. Observe your natural curve in your lower back. And then you start to engage the muscles at the top of the buttocks and the lower back and roll the pelvis forward like a rolling pin. So your lower back arches and lifts more off the mat. Your hips are on the ground and you're rolling towards your tailbone and sitting bones. And then as you exhale, very smoothly and slowly, and you can take several breaths to do this, release the engagement of your lower back muscles and come back to neutral. And observe how neutral has already changed. Right? It's probably flatter already, okay? So then you're going to inhale again, engage your lower back and upper buttocks and roll your pelvis forward. So you're pressing the sitting bones and tailbone down a little as you roll towards your feet. And you're going to get more arch in your back, right? And then as you exhale, again, you can take several breaths, slowly release and observe what's shaky and what goes really fast. And so that's where you have sensory motor amnesia, where there's chronic contraction. And again, observe neutral. So do this a few times on your own. And as you do, you can sort of explore maybe, no, hips stay on the ground. Hips stay on the ground. Don't lift the buttocks off the ground. Yep. Good. I'll come to you. So it's a simple movement of arching, that's it, so now you're arching, now smoothly release this and just let your, yeah, and don't engage the front, yes. That's it, and then inhale, engage the back muscles, roll the pelvis forward like a rolling pin, and then exhale smoothly, release that engagement, and take your time, don't be in a rush, it's more about the sensing and feeling than it is about the breath coordination, right? But it's nice to coordinate the breath. So when you inhale and roll your pelvis forward, what can you release in the front of the body in order to create more freedom of movement? Right? And then when you exhale and release that engagement, don't engage the muscles in the front. Just release and focus on the letting go of holding on in the back of the body. And also observe how this movement affects your neck. So as you inhale and roll your pelvis forward, what happens? Right? It shortens your spine and pulls your head chin in towards your chest, which is a little counterintuitive, right? So as you inhale and arch, that's round, that's the opposite, relax. Inhale, engage your lower back muscles and arch, see how it pulls the chin in? Now smoothly and slowly release the engagement in the back, don't engage the front. Okay? Good. Now just come to neutral and observe these. You want to adjust your feet and legs if you're, you don't have to stay glued to the position where your feet and legs are, it should be comfortable. And you should sense and feel there's a difference in your neutral, right? You're flatter, is everyone a little flatter? Right, because what you did was, you didn't know you were engaging, and then you started to engage more, and you could feel engagement, and then you could release, right? So that's how we release, is feeling that we're engaging. And this you can finesse over time, right? To do when you're standing and so on. So now flatten, the opposite move. You inhale to start, and then as you exhale, sink your belly towards your spine and let your hips roll back. Right, so your sitting bones and tailbone curl up, and when you engage your abdomen, don't push it up, sink it down towards the back, flatten your lower back. And then on your inhale, you smoothly release the engagement of your abdominal muscles and come back to neutral. And ta-da! Now you have a curve again in your lower back because you release the engagement of the front. So you're gonna do this a few times. So you inhale to prepare, exhale, sink the lower belly. When you sink the lower belly, the frontal hip points roll towards each other and the knees start to fall in towards each other. And continue and see if you can get towards the belly button area. And see if you feel how your head starts to lift your chin. And then smoothly release that engagement of the front. Come back to that neutral and exhale and observe how again, things have changed. And continue with this. Right, inhale to prepare, exhale, sink the belly, roll the hips back like a rolling pin, press the lower back down so you can get the middle back down. And then eventually you can also take the lower front ribs down and then the shoulders start to lift off the mat and your head falls back. And then you smoothly release what's engaging in the front, come back to neutral and observe. And do this a few times. Okay, so this one's called flatten. Don't lift your chin, okay? That's just a consequence of the engagement of the abdominal muscles, okay? Just the same as when the chin pulls in, you're not engaging that part of your body, it's neutral. It's like I talked about, I think last week, sattva, right, from the neck and head up. Nothing's happening there. It's a consequence of what you're doing in your torso. There's a lot more power and also trauma and tension in the torso. So the more we move from the center of our body, the more energy we have, and also we release holding on a lot of tension. So it's very, very important to figure out how to use the center of your body wisely, and also how to release chronic holding patterns, because that's where your nervous system is housed. You're probably feeling some effect in your nervous system already. Okay, come back to neutral and observe neutral and be there for a few breaths. Then we're going to do some back and forth. Okay, so we're going to have an extra breath in between. This is more sophisticated, right? So try not to go too fast. Slower is better. You can use multiple breaths. So when you're ready, on your inhale, you engage your back muscles and roll your hips towards your feet, right? So your lower back lifts, but your sitting bones and tailbone press down firmly and allow your chin to come to your chest, not by engaging, but by releasing what's holding on in the back of the neck. And then as you exhale smoothly, just release the back muscles and come back to neutral. And take your time and observe neutral and take at least one full breath in and out in neutral to observe how neutral has changed again. And then to flatten, you inhale to prepare, exhale, sink the lower belly, the middle belly, upper belly if you're comfortable with that. right? Your sitting bones and tailbone roll up towards the backs of the knees. You press the lower back down, the chin pushes up as you push the spine up towards the head side. And then on an inhale, you smoothly release all that engagement at the front, come back to neutral, pause in neutral, exhale, inhale, take 1 or 2 breaths, observe neutral. And then continue, inhale, you engage the back muscles as you release the front, rolling hips forward towards the heels, pressing the sitting bone and tailbones down, chin pulls into the chest if you relax the neck. And then as you exhale, you feel the back muscles releasing. Don't engage the front, don't think of the front, think of the back and feel those muscles letting go, coming to neutral. And then you rest in neutral and observe and breathe. And then when you're ready to flatten, you inhale. And then as you exhale, sink the lower belly down and the hips will already start to roll back unless you're engaging something in the back body to stop it, right? And then you can continue sinking the middle waist and even the upper waist down. And then the shoulders will lift and the head will fall back more. And then you smoothly release all that engagement as you inhale. Remember, you can take several breaths until you're releasing the front, not engaging the back, and come to neutral. So do this a couple more times on your own. Inhaling to arch, go slow, and really feel what's going on. And when you arch, you can add in a little bit more of your shoulder work. So you can add in the upper neck. You start from the tailbone, and then you can eventually roll the shoulders a little bit into external rotation and let the knees come a little bit apart. That's what will naturally start to happen. And then you smoothly release that. And you pause, and then as you exhale, you sink the front body, release the back body, and you can let the head fall back, the knees come towards each other, and the shoulders roll a little bit into internal rotation as you do that. And then you smoothly release out. Do that one more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, release, pause, and breathe, observe. So if your legs aren't being affected by what you're doing, then you try to do a little bit more and observe how it affects the leg if you allow it to, right? And the neck and the shoulders. Okay? All right. And then when you feel complete, take a breath in neutral, observe neutral, and then extend your legs and come to Shavasana. So this is very subtle work, but extraordinarily powerful. And it teaches us actually how to do yoga so much better instead of over-engaging everything all the time, right? It's a matter of finessing and finding how much to engage where, what to release where, and so on, right? And so that we're doing more and more things as effortlessly as possible. And effortless, but also when we're standing, you have to use, of course, more engagement. Okay, this is in general. But what happens is if you fall asleep, you can do this before bed, especially if you have a warm floor, isn't it? So, but that's okay. I think it's important. So we haven't done this in a while. So then we're going to do some windshield wipers, and we're going to start really slow, and then we'll add the arms, which is the wash back. Okay. So again, bend your knees, and just before you do bend your knees, just reassess your Shavasana for a moment and see if don't you feel more soft. In general, yeah, more connections to the ground, yeah. So you've released already, and it's not like huge amounts of release. Even small things can make a terrific difference in your tensegrity, your system of ropes and pulleys, which is what your body is. So now bend your knees up one by one. That's part of what your body is. It's not all. It's a very complicated system. So when you bend the knees, widen your feet to the outer edges of the mat. Turn the toes in like your pigeon toe. And then let your knees fall together for a few breaths. Don't engage your inner thighs. Just release the outer legs. If the feet don't touch, the knees don't touch, or the thighs don't touch, that's okay. But widen your feet. Toe heel your feet wider, wider, wider. Yes, yes. Oh, as wide as you want, or wider. Maybe. Well, maybe not wider. And if you're a smaller person, you can go a little less wide, and if you have longer limbs, you can go a little more wide. You can adjust, right? But the knees don't have your feet too close to your buttocks either. Okay, so a little further from your buttocks, Tony, and Thane also. And then let your knees turn your toes in like your pigeon toe, and let your thighs release in. Release the outer hips and thighs, and let your knees fall together. And observe how that turning of your legs affects your hips and buttocks and thighs, right? How your lower back and your buttock comes away from the sacrum, lower back releases. This is a rest for your lower back. Observe that, how the internal rotation affects your lower back. Okay. And then go ahead and widen your legs and come to neutral with your leg. But keep your knees wide and your feet where they are, but don't turn them in. Just let them be with you. You take a breath, and as you exhale, allow your right leg to release in towards the midline. Try not to fall too much with your left leg. Okay, you can a little bit, but just let your right leg turn into the midline. You can let your right foot slide out a bit more. You don't have to stay glued to where you are. Just observe that internal rotation of the right leg. Yeah. Position, right? Yeah. And then inhale, come back. Lift it back up, and when you come back, go slow. And when you go in, go slow. It's not a race, right? Except the slowest person wins, actually. So then we'll do it again, right? Release the right leg slowly and really feel every minutia of movement of skin and connective tissue and so on. And now observe the front of the leg. See if you can release the front of the leg from the waist across the hip flexor, across the top of the thigh to the knee. You can let your foot release out a little bit more. So feel the release on the front of the right leg. Can you feel that? Your right hip comes off the ground a little bit. Yeah? Shakiness is there. Yeah. So that means sensory motor amnesia. You're not used to letting go there. And then inhale and raise your leg up and observe how you rock back to the right. You can rock back and forth a few times on your buttocks and sacrum. You know, it's like a little boat rocking side to side. And release the inner thighs, come back to neutral. We'll do it one more time. So on the right still, you let the right leg release in. You let the front of the leg release, so the right hip comes off the ground, right? And then allow your left leg to slowly release all the way out to the side in a wide-legged windshield wiper. And observe that for a few breaths. So your right leg, so Fernanda, go the other way, right leg dips in, yes, yes. And let your inside edge of your right foot, yeah, and rather than manhandling your left leg like that. Or woman handling, sorry, Graham. Slowly release, feel that controlled release of the inner thigh and allow the hips and the torso to turn towards the left. It's a gentle twist, right? Okay, and then he'll slowly raise up and come back to neutral. And be in neutral. Okay, keep the legs wide, inner thighs release. Take a breath, not the feet too close to the buttocks, right? You need some space. Now the left leg dips into the midline. Okay, and observe that internal rotation of the left leg and what's gripping in your outer hip and buttocks is not allowing that to occur. And instead of forcing it down with your willpower, release what's holding on. And observe, and then inhale, come back, lift the leg up, and you can roll a little side to side to come back to the center of your pelvis and release your inner thighs, widen your knees a little, inner thighs and knees, and then again, release the left leg in. And then allow the front of the leg to release, so the left hip's gonna come off the ground a bit more, as you release from the psoas, which is deep in the front of your spine and is a major hip flexor, across the top of the groin area and the top of the thigh. And then inhale and come back. And again, rock side to side, but slowly, very, very slowly. Slow wins the wrist and wide knees and feet. And then exhale again, dip the left leg into the midline. Release the front of the left leg so that you reach towards the front of the mat rail, and then slow controlled release of the right leg into the full wide-legged windshield wiper and be there. Yeah. And observe that the whole torso turning, right? Especially in the hip and leg area. Yeah, you better move your blankets out of the way. You okay? I'm gonna adjust you a little bit. This stays wide. This goes this way, and then you turn, yeah, you can turn the feet too. Yes, they're part of the leg. Yes, good, and relax your hands and breathe. Yes, good. All right, then come back up slowly. Come back and rock a little bit side to side. Very, very slowly, right? Coming back to the center. Bring your feet more out of a quick distance. So now it's going to be a little bit narrower of a windshield wiper, and you're going to release the legs over to the left. And as you do so, allow your head to release to the right. And observe this gentle twist. And then as you inhale, you raise the legs up and the head. Don't lead with the head, lead with the legs, right? The head's because of the leg. Then the legs release to the right and the head will release to the left into the twist, right? And observe the slow controlled release. You can adjust the distance between your legs and stuff. Don't stay glued to a spot. Lift the legs up as you inhale, release to the left as you exhale. Do this a couple of times on your own. Go slow. Bring your feet closer together now, Jamie. Yeah, and further from your buttocks. Yes. Yeah, it's not, you're not going into bridge pose, right? You're allowing a slow controlled release, not forcing. Yeah. Yeah. Good. And when you lift, go a little bit slow too, and observe that. Yeah. Good. Okay, and then when you have finished, come back to neutral for a moment. So we're gonna add the arms, okay? So the arms is called block drag. I'm gonna show you. So just lift your eyeballs and see if you can see me. So when your knees go one way, your head goes this way, right? So we're gonna externally rotate that arm. And then eventually, we're also gonna internally rotate the opposite arm. So we're gonna be turning the arms, and that's called the wash back, like twisting, right? But it's very gentle. Don't force it, okay? So come back to the neutral, take a breath, and then as you exhale, release your legs to the right. And your head will release opposite of your legs, ideally to the left in a gentle twist. Now observe your left shoulder. So you probably shoulder up to your ear. Lift your shoulder off the ground so your shoulder blade comes off the blanket. Draw that shoulder blade down and externally rotate your left arm so that your elbow comes off the ground and your palm faces the top of your head. And let your head, observe how you can release your neck a bit more, right? And then release your arm. And then lift your legs, come back to neutral and exhale and release your legs to the left and the head will release to the right. And you'll see how your right shoulder is up towards your ear probably. So you lift the right shoulder off the floor and then draw that shoulder blade down and turn that arm into external rotation. So the elbow comes off the ground, the hand faces the top of the head, and you can feel how your neck releases. Don't push your ribs up to the sky. Okay. Release your right arm. Bring your legs back and your head. And then release your legs to the right, head to the left, lift your left shoulder and externally rotate that arm and see how you can release the head more. Now lift your right shoulder off the ground and turn that shoulder in towards the chest. You can let your head move a little more to the left and then your right elbow lifts off the ground too. Your palm either faces the ground or also the top of your head. And then release both arms back to neutral. Lift your legs. Head will come up to neutral, release your legs to the left, head to the right. Lift the right shoulder, turn that arm into external rotation. Lean a little to the right, lifting the left shoulder and turn that left shoulder in towards the chest so that elbow comes off the ground too. Whew, and then you can really release your neck, right? And then release your arms and bring your head up and then release your legs. And as your legs release, you can do both arms at the same time. So you're engaging the arms as you're releasing the leg, and then you release the arms as you raise the legs, or there's a beat in between, so don't go too fast. But as you release the legs, you can take both arms and go into walker. So you start to soften the back of the body instead of it being hard, right? And so this can happen quite easily. Arm and leg. Yeah, your legs are going too, man. So don't forget the legs. Yeah, and keep your legs just a little wider, man. They're too narrow. And bring your feet a little closer to your buttocks. They're too far away. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and turn your head to the left, Graham. When your knees go to the right. There you go. Good, and then change. Good. Release your arms. Change your arms as you go. Right. So now, if Graham, as your legs go to the left, keep going. Release your legs to the left. Look to the right. Now turn your right arm when you're looking at into external rotation. Keep going. Yeah, now turn the left arm the opposite way, internal rotation. Yes, like that, Graham. Yes. And relax. Try not to engage. So don't force. Yeah. Okay. And then release the arms and the legs. Good. Do that one more time on each side and then come into the middle, take a breath, and then come into Shavasana. Yes. Good. And so when you're doing this, it's like the idea is that you loosen. It's not to engage and harden and tighten, right? It's not, you're not building muscle strength or whatever. You're just trying to relax your body and allow a more natural movement, right? Now come back to Shavasana. Shavasana. Bring your arms again back about a 45-degree angle. Straighten the leg down. And you're breathing. Good. And observe. Tell me you don't feel more yummy than when you came in.
Yeah, that's.
So, there you go, that's his job. You gotta slow it down and have warm floor, not a cool floor. You can put a little heater or whatever, a lot of blankets, yeah, because the cold things it's tighten. Arms up then. Observe the head. Okay, 4 feet. And don't extend them, because that's engagement, so relax. Don't curl, let them do their thing, which will be a little bit of a thrill. Right? Then observe how you fall. What you do best, you can just say more even, right? Don't engage, don't engage, release. Right. Good. And the theater of it, head Susan, if it gets too hot. Good, now get into these one by one. Pause to breathe. And observe, roll over onto your side. Pause, oh no, stay there, do that. Sorry, we're gonna do one more here. So make sure, extend your arms overhead, make sure you have enough room over your head. When you extend your arms, okay, got it. Whew. Keep your knees bent, feet wrapped up with distance apart, arms along your side. You're gonna do some rolling bridges. You can just turn your palms up, the arms don't have a job yet. So now, take a breath, and as you exhale, you sink the lower belly to the spine like flattened, so your tailbone curls up. And then slowly, like you're lifting, like a necklace, chain link necklace off the ground, one link at a time, you slowly curl your tailbone up, and then slowly lift your spine up off the ground. One vertebrae at a time, till you come to your comfortable maximum. We're gonna do it a few times, so the first one is gentle. Now, coming down is like you're releasing that strand of pearls or necklace, chain link necklace, one at a time down, right? So you're releasing your spinal, your vertebrae one at a time as you come down, as best you can. And then you slowly release the whole pelvis and roll a little bit towards the tailbone to release. And we'll do this a few times. Exhale, sink the waist. And as you do that, you're rolling back towards flatten, right? And then you engage the hamstrings and the buttocks to slowly lift your spine up off from that one vertebrae at a time. And you might find you can go a little bit further the second time. Now, when you're coming down, and breathe freely, right? You come down from the top to the bottom. So you sink the front body to the back body and lay your spine down one vertebrae at a time. And then you release your pelvis and roll. Do this a few times. Relax your arms, relax your brain. It's okay if you don't get it right. There's no scoring, no test. Okay? Right, it's exploration and fun. We're gonna bring your feet a little closer to your buttocks, not to each other, wider from each other. There you go. So this one, you're lifting your hips off the ground now. It's bridge pose, right? Up, 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 keep going, keep going. Oh, 17 vertebrae at once. Okay, Graham, that's all right. Now see if you can come down from the top to the bottom and lay your spine down one vertebrae at a time. So you have to keep lifting your tailbone up as you elongate the lower back and move the tailbone towards the back of the knees, towards the heels, and lengthen the lower back. Yes. And then when you release, let the curve come back. Don't stay flat. Yes. Good. So you can stay with doing this if this is enough, or you can add the arms. The arms will give you a little bit more lift. And so the next time you come down, we'll do the arms all together. And so when you come down, vertebra by vertebra, adjust your feet. So your feet are more hip width distance, not too wide, okay? And then your arms down along your sides, palms down. Now, again, exhale, sink the waist like flat, and let your tailbone and sitting bones curl up, and then start to engage your buttocks and backs of your thighs and start to lift your hips up one vertebrae at a time. And at the same time, lift your arms up. And take your arms all the way overhead, palms up. And stop there and breathe for a moment. And then coming down, first lift your arms up until your arms are like your fingers are facing like where the ceiling and wall meet, and then start to lower your spine down vertebrae by vertebrae, right? And then lower your arms and release your pelvis. So you can kind of explore that move. So you lift your hips and arms at the same time. Press into your feet, engage your butt and legs, and you can really get more and more up towards the tops of the shoulders as you loosen up, and then you bring your arms down quite a bit first before you start laying your spine down, but you do that simultaneously. And that requires a little bit more sophistication, right? And because, you know, you want to try to get the arms to be on the ground at the same time as the torso, Tony. So that's why you lower the arms quite a bit first before you lower the torso. Yeah, even more, Robin, even more arms, 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 arms. Yeah, tail, no, buttocks up. And then elongate the lower back. Yes. And bring it down vertebra by vertebra, right? Measure it. Maybe do this a couple more times in the spirit of exploration and joy and pleasure. Arms up, arms, lift your hips, go, go, go. Arms all the way, hips all the way, lift, lift, lift. Stay there, lifting. Now take your arms first. And then start to bring your chest, your upper back, your middle back, keep your tailbone, elongate your lower back, keep your buttocks moving towards the backs of your knees as you elongate. And then release everything. Good, take a breath. And then when you feel like you've had enough, come back and rest in Shavasana. Good. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna figure out a way to put this on the wall, the next thing. Okay. It's a little slow. All right, and then you'll then take a breath, like relax your hands and fingers and armpits. Turn your palms up. If you observe what happens when you turn your palms down to your shoulders. Do it again. Turn your palms down. Internal rotation closes the chest. External rotation. Turning your palms up, opens. Okay, observe. Subtle things make a huge difference in this integrity of ours, which is also a lot more complicated than just that, but that's the structure. Now go ahead and bend your knees one by one and roll over to your side, take a moment and breathe, and then we'll come up and do the next thing. Oh, no, wait. Come back now, I'm gonna do one more thing, sorry. These are add-ons. Well, this one. Okay, so now again, make sure you have enough space overhead. Bend your elbows alongside your ribs, lift your chest, and draw your shoulder blades down your back. Keep your hands like that, like you would do when you're doing preparing for bridge. And then be in Supta Tadasana, reclining mountain pose, legs and feet together. And then roll the inner edges of the feet more away from you, turning the outer edges of the feet up towards your hips and firm. And then tailbone a little bit, curl it up towards the ceiling so you elongate the lower back. And then extend your arms along your sides, lift your elbows up, palms face your hips. And then firm arms and legs, inhale, take your arms overhead, extend your thumbs towards the ground. And then as you exhale, sink your ribs to bring your arms up and bend your right knee and interlace your fingers on your shin, just below your knee. Take a breath or two here. Observe the curve in your lower back. Really acknowledge it. Relax your flexor of the bent knee. And then as you exhale, sink your waist towards flat and allow your hips to roll back and your right sitting bone to curl up along the back of the right thigh towards the back of the knee. Follow the abdomen. So you create space for this forward bend here in the right leg. Right, and then inhale, extend your right leg and arms overhead. Line up the inseam of the feet and legs, firm the elbows, palms face in. As you exhale, sink your rib cage, upper ribs, your lower ribs to your lower back ribs. And now bring your arms up quite a bit. Bend your left knee, interlace. Hold just below the knee at the shin. Soften the hip flexor and all those things. But keep the right leg as in Tadasana. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, sinking your waist, allow your hips to roll back towards flat, which means your sitting bones and tailbone will curl up off the mat. And your left sitting bone travels along the back of the left thigh towards the back of the left knee as you don't just pull the knee into the chest, but lift the knee up, pull it towards your chin. And release your buttocks and your lower back as you do that. Elongate. And then inhale, extend your left leg, arms overhead, line up the inseam from the elbows, palms in. And you exhale, sink the lower front ribs to the lower back ribs. And then take your right knee in. And continue to explore this movement a few times on your own. Okay. So once you're holding the knee, what can you let go of? Relax your right foot. It has no job here. Fine, and relax your right foot and ankle. Yeah. So the right leg is totally relaxed. Yeah. Elongate the back of the neck. Broaden the shoulders. Follow the abdomen. Yes. And compress the leg and pull the knee up towards the shoulder. Right. And then continue. And observe that you're not hiking your hip up when you do that. Right. You want to try to keep your sitting bones both pointing down towards the standing leg. The leg that's on the ground, Supta Tadasana leg. But release as you did in somatic work, right? Release, flatten, yes, Robin. Good. Yes, very good. So you do this one more time on each side, finish on your left. Remember, when you extend your left leg, take your arms overhead at the same time. And when you take your arms overhead, your elbows are straight and they're going in this line, so you're, working on straight elbows, right? Like my vet told me, this physical therapist said, keep telling people to straighten your elbows. Right? The best you can. Now bring them close in. You have to bring them close. There you go. And then exhale, sink your ribs. Exhale, sink your ribs. And as you sink these ribs down, that'll help you bring your arms, bend your left knee down, hold your left knee. Right? You elongate the back of the neck, right? Maintain Shavasana actions, right? And release the lower back. Take that, so the bent knee leg, that top buttock moves to the bottom buttocks, the sitting bone curls along the back of the knee, and you're flattening your lower back. Right? Good. Okay. And then when you finish on the left, your arms will be overhead, and you just exhale, lower your straight arms down to your sides and come back to Shavasana. So these are like magic herbs for your body, especially this time of year, right? So do it. Highly recommend. Remember Shavasana, feet apart, arms away from the sides, palms up, and observe. Then breathe and relax. Don't extend, don't engage. So Shavasana is all about letting go on every level, right? Find what needs to release. Yeah. And then let go more. Find what's holding and let go more. Now, I'm really come on, right? It's 50 minutes, well, 10 minutes was the beginning, okay? 40 minutes. We've been lying for that. Isn't that crazy? I know. So bend your knees one by one, roll to your side, rest for a moment there. I hope your floors are warm there. I'm sorry if you have a cold floor. But you should have a blanket on underneath you so that it's warmer, because we're gonna do some more active rolling. So you definitely want a blanket, yeah. And if you can, Lena, just tilt your camera down a little more so I can see more of your body. Okay, so then you're gonna come up and I'll show you the next thing. It's a little bit more active, but I'm hoping that you'll continue to see this in the spirit of play. I'm going to move this here. Back here. So. Can you guys see both my images, like the whole room and then the littler view? Can you see both images? Lena, 2 images on the screen or just 1?
I see 2 screens, but
Good.
one
That's the idea.
is for me better to see. Sorry.
Good, excellent. Okay, so now we'll do the rolling watch. So when you roll, you have to be careful, you're not engaging here, right? So it's a release here. So all this is round, okay? It's not a flat back, then you're gonna, it's hurtful if you do that, okay? And hard, so it's round. Walk for a second. And do this, and don't be in a rush, okay? But eventually, you want to start to engage your abdomen and lift, as you would do for shoulder stand, right? So do that a few times. So first just rolling, and already when you roll back, you have to lift a little bit or your butt won't come up, right? And let your head and neck release. Yes, Robin, go slow. Yeah. Yeah, so you have to use some abdominal strength to come up and back, both. Yes, like a little ball. Like you don't have to straighten your legs, you can keep your knees bent, but see if you can lift your hips momentarily. That's what you need to get up into plow pose and then shoulder stand, right? Yeah, now come to the front, and you might need to pull your blanket a little bit, or your whole mat a little bit away from the wall, if you're too close to the wall, okay? And then watch. And start up here, like towards the front. So you roll and try to extend your legs and your arms like that. Yeah. It's fun. Breathe and soften. Remember, like a baby, or a child, if they get, or a camera say, falls, right, they're soft, they're not hard, don't just start it, you have to start up, right? Okay. And scoot more to the front of your mat, all the way up, your feet can be on the floor, they don't have to be on the blanket.
I'm not that big.
Okay, now we're. And start to extend your arms and legs behind you. Yes, like that, and yes, yes, yes. There you go, good. Okay. Round and soft. So you have to engage and release sort of in the same manner, right? For the, yes, yes, you have to engage your abs. Do that. Ready for the next one? Oh, you did it, Fernanda. Good, good. Make sure you don't hit the wall behind you. Okay, now, next, try this one. Paschimottanasana, Kalasana. You can bend. Paschimottanasana, Kalasana. Paschimottanasana. Okay? Huh? Just do what you've been doing. Just start with your knees bent and straighten out a little bit, if you want. Yeah, and then come up bent, and then straighten a little. And go forward a little, and then go back, bend. Yes, and then come up, bend, and look down. Yes, and then go back, bend. And yes, and then go forward. Yes, and play. Yeah, look down. Okay. Bend, don't go right to straight. Okay. Yes, it's more joyful and playful and like, and using some momentum and breath. Look down, don't look up. Look where you're going. When you're going into the forward bend, yes. Good. Now it's in. Yes. Well, I also did some warm up before. Okay. And now jump up and let's try this. You go back. You go up. You go down. You can go up again. You go back. What's this pose? Awesome. You can do it with bent knees, you can do it with straight legs, play around a little. Okay, you balance, go back. Come up, balance here, go down, okay? Slow that one with you. In a fun manner. Yes. And go back, bend your knees as you go back, bend and roll. Yeah, so when you go
I
back,
need the momentum to roll.
yeah, so use a little more momentum. Come back up again and then go all the way back. Bend your knees. Now come up and pause up. Oh, the more you have to come up higher and then pause, yes. And then go a little forward then. And then go back. Yes, good.
This is play?
Yeah. You're not having fun yet? Okay, now come up and take it. So if you don't have a belt at home, you'll just have to do Navasana without the belt. Okay, we're gonna use a belt for Navasana and a few other things. And ideally, it's a very long belt. So here, the studio, the quick release belts. Now, if you're right-handed, you want the tail on the right side, have a little tail. And if you're a bigger person, you're gonna need more of a smaller person, a less of you. So you're gonna take the belt to the tail end, so that you can pull the tail end forward, right? Like to be on your right-hand side if you're right-handed, left if you're left, okay? So hang on, I just got this. So that, why is this doing, okay, hang on, I'm gonna put this behind you like this. So now my tail is, so this is, the belt loop is, the buckle's in front, tail is here, and I have the belt behind, right? So then.
You want it big?
A pretty big loop. Okay, depends on you, but look, it's right under my armpits, right? And I have a tail, look, I have tail on my right. Okay, I can't hear you right now because. And then you're gonna sit back a little bit and put the feet in the belt. Like this. And then straighten your legs. And you're in what pose? Navasana. Exactly. And then you can adjust a little if your feet are too high. Eventually you wanna have your feet and you can adjust and turn the belt so that the feet are more in line with the eyes and then lift the chest. So now you have more engagement. And then you can extend the arms. You have to adjust the belt with the knees bent a little bit. Yeah, so bend, so a little tighter, Tony, tighten that belt a little more. And then try. Yeah, and then lower the legs and lift the torso a little more. Yeah, more, there, that's better, a little bit more legs down, torso up. Yes, yes, that's better. Good. Now extend yours again. It's a little too short, Heina. You need more length. Yes. Mia's got it. Good, Susan. Yes, palms in towards each other. I think you could, maybe have a little bit more space on your belt. Your feet are too high.
Meaning more length.
Make a bigger move, tiny bit. Yes, Fernanda, lift the chest. Yes, push the feet into the belt. Yeah, so ideally, see how my clip is here? Your clip is on your feet. So you want to move it, just slide it around. Yes. There you go. Oh, I'm Robin. Okay, not helping. Okay, all right. So then that's just explore, right? And then you can also do this. Just here. We're here, right? Navasana. Yeah. Good. Yes. That's it. Good. Uh-huh. Okay. Good, release the belt. We'll do one other thing here. So, take your blanket. And fold it in half. And then you half again. And then just move it off to the side. Okay? Now you can use it actually if you need to for Virasana forward. You sit on the heels, walk the hands forward, right? And be in Virasana forward for a couple of breaths. Get it too hot, we don't all put that. Yeah, I just, the floor is finally made it to 70. Someone put it down to 66 last night and it's cold. So, yeah, so sitting on the heels, big toes together, knees apart, and you're talking into the Virasana, but like we do in the beginning of most class, right? Go slow, take your time. Use that push-pull, so when you push into your hands, bring the buttocks back with your heels, you deflate your legs, disengage, let your hips revolve around the head of the thigh bones. So the pelvis goes with the torso, right? As the torso extends forward and down. Bring a head support if your head is very low, or rest your head on your arms, or use a blanket or a block for your head, right? You want to extend your arms in preparation for that with crazy dog, which is what we'll do next, which is what I recommend. Okay, but if your arms, your shoulders bothering you, you can rest. Okay, spread your fingers well. Yeah, and press the base knuckles of the fingers down. And all the fingers down. Yeah, as you're able. Straight elbows. Good. So, if your head is far from the ground, you take a little support. Okay, and then you see that your wrists stay down, you just press forward into the hands, right? But you don't lift the wrists off the ground. You just don't put all the weight there, you extend it forward. That's good, and you use the pushing of the hands to bring the buttocks down. Yeah, and then as the buttocks comes down, you extend the spine and torso both lighter. Yeah, there you go, so you use space to bring the chest down. There you go. Head up. Tuck your chin. Tuck, tuck. Yes, there it is. Good. Okay, and then come onto your hands and knees. In preparation, come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers well from your elbows, throw your toes under. Push your buttocks back, your hands are a little bit forward, right? Not right under your shoulders, otherwise you'd be too narrow. Walk your hands more forward, Tony. And have your hands towards the outer edges of your shoulders. Check your wrist creases that you're not, like your left hand turn out a little, out, turn the hand, yes, that's it. Push your buttocks back towards your heels, let your head release down and look at your feet. Toes curl under. Draw the outer ankles in, press the ball down to the feet down, press into the hands and then exhale, exhale with your hips. Release your head, be here and breathe. Don't lift your heels down yet, lift your heels up. Yeah, press into your hands, take your chest towards your thighs, lift your buttocks. Take your inner groins back, outer hips back, and then slowly reach your heels back and down, not just down. Reach and open the balls of your feet, the soles of the feet, reach the heels towards the outer edges of the mat, and keep the lift of the hips. And take the chest towards the thighs, from the elbows, lift the hips. Good, it's more important for the hips to lift than the heels to reach down, right? So you have to find that play. Those of us who are hypermobile, you have to keep the buttocks down. Good. That's it now. Lift your heels, bend your knees, come back to Virasana fold. Child pose. Mhm. And now sit up on your heels for a moment and watch. So you're gonna take your elbows down, buttocks up like you're on hands and knees, but your elbows are more on your shoulders. And you interlace your fingers and touch your thumb tips, and then extend the pinky side of the hand and bring the whole pinky side of the hand and wrist and forearm down. Right, and lift the shoulders up, press the forearms down, center of the forearm, lift the shoulders up, release the head down. And again, you're gonna curl the toes under and lift the hips up, so this is just like downward facing dog, but you're on your forearms and your head is down. Okay, and then you press the forearm down, and as you press down into the forearm, the shoulders and chest move closer to the legs, and you keep the heels lifted here. Okay, we can do that one. So the forearms and hands are as in headstand. Lift your buttocks off your heels, so you're like on hands and knees. Elbows are right under the shoulders, take your interlace, and don't squeeze your hands together, and extend the pinky side of the hand, so look here. So the pinky side of the wrist is down. Don't touch the hands down, press the forearms down, all the way to the wrist. Release your head down, and lift your shoulders up as you press the forearms down. Curl the toes under, draw the outer ankles in, look at your feet, push down into your forearms and keep the ball of the feet, and lift the hips up and release the head down. It's not on the ground, it's hanging. Yeah, just like in down dog. Then interlace your fingers, Brand. The webbing's all the way together, all the way. Webbings, yes. Press the forearms down, lift the shoulders up. Take the chest towards the thighs, release the head, just let your bowling ball hang there. Take your chest towards your thighs, lift your heels up. Yeah, good, lift your buttocks up. Breathe, good. That. Yeah, lift your hips, lift your buttock, yes, good. That's it. Good, come down and rest, good. Take a breath, rest in child's pose. You can just bring your arms back, rest your head down and relax your arms, don't extend your arms. Come more towards the back of your now. I'm gonna come and give you a little shoulder lift, for those of you who would like. So you're gonna repeat this, but the second time, you're gonna try to walk your feet a little bit in, pike your buttocks up, and then lift one leg up, head stays off the ground. Okay? Need you to show? No, you know, head stays off the ground. Okay? Lift your buttocks up. Yep, that's it. That's it. Throw the toes under. Release the head down. Good. Move back and walk. Move back to the wall. Good. And then try to walk in a little bit before you lift the leg. Yes, Emily. Good. And stay there, Robin. Okay. Elbows stay down. Arch your back. Yes, buttocks up. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Forget the leg. Forget the leg. Just do that part. Just do that. Good. Yes, and when you lift that leg, okay, don't drop the other hip. Don't drop this hip. Keep both hips lifting evenly. Yes. Good. Take the chest towards the thighs. Then you lift the front of that leg up. Good. Then you can kind of rest in child pose again. Good. Yes. Rest in child pose. Here you go. Rest. Sit on your heels. Good. Or take a pillow with your hand and rest. Yeah. Yes, yes. Good. Here, that much lift, yes. Yes, fine, now we're talking. Now walking a little more, Jiggle. Lift your buttocks. Lift your heels, lift one leg up, lift one leg up. Yes, that much, okay? That much. Yes, and then that's good. So those of you who would like, can come pop up into headstand from there. Anybody? Watch. Is there an intermediate state? I'm gonna help you, and you're not gonna stay. You're not gonna stay. You're gonna come up and come down. That's it. You're walking, 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 walking. One leg up. I'm gonna lift you up,
Oh,
and then you're gonna come down.
oh, not hang. I thought when you watched the host and, you know.
Headstand. Headstand.
Oh, and I-
Yeah. Walk in. Do the same thing until your head comes to the ground. Lift one leg up and I'll lift you up. Those of you at home, you can just repeat unless you have a headstand practice and you can in. But if try coming in the middle of the room, feel confident. Come on, Mia. Up.
Did my back.
Okay. Got it. Right. Right. Yeah. Come on. Yes. All right, you don't take the head first. No, come down, Fernanda. Do exactly what we just did. Do exactly, walk your knees way back, walk your knees way back. Come down dog, on your, just leave your arm, yes, good, walk in. Walk in, walk, keep going, lift your shoulders up, lift your back up, take your head down, elbows back too wide, bring your elbows narrower. Yes, and where I'm pushing, move this towards the wall, move that towards the wall, move that away from me, away, good, one leg up. Good, other leg, yes, see, that's it, good. Fernanda, now one leg down. Other leg down. Good, Kristen Childs, good. Here you go. You okay here?
Yeah.
Good. Want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, yeah. Walk in and your elbows are too wide. That's better, that's too narrow. Good, head down, head on the ground.
On the ground.
Yes, head has to, it's a head swing. Bring your head back. Yes, keep your elbows narrower, that you widen your elbows. No, yeah, there you go. Shoulders up. Yes, head down. Buttocks up. Head down. Whoop. Keep moving the chest towards the, yeah, one leg up.
Oh.
Good, straight up. Good, round, firm buttocks, lift your shoulders up off the ground, any amount. Good. One leg down, straight. Both legs straight. Rest in child. Did you come up for now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I think everybody did it. Who wanted to do it? Okay, good. Rest in child. Very good. Take a little breath. Sometimes it's fun to do that, right? It's not as bad as you think. Right, especially if you relax a little, because we panic, right? We all panic. Right, you have to lift the shoulders away from the arch the upper back, it's a back bend. And then, yes, go, one more, come on, I'll lift you up. Come on, one leg up. Lift it, lift your leg. Good. That's it. She's up. Yeah. Then come down one leg. And then the other, because if you come down both legs, you can break your toe. Now, the next thing. Very good. Open your blanket. So if you have, so we're gonna use a belt. Okay, and you might want a blanket for your head as well. Or you can even just use a little bit of that blanket. The blanket is just roughness and mobility. So now. You're gonna use, again, making a big loop with your belt, a big loop, just like we did before, okay? And you're gonna put it around the back, right up under your shoulders. So you wanna have that belt, ideally, so you can pull the tail down towards you. Right, so the tail comes this way, it's gonna be easier to pull, okay? When you get it right up under your armpits, and you put your feet in there. Okay, I'm gonna be here. So it's right on the arches of the feet, more or less. And then you can have a little roller on your neck, you can use part of that blanket, or have several blankets handy, whatever you need. You see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, so your legs are perpendicular. Yeah, head is on the blanket. Yeah. If needed, okay? Yeah, and see if you can get the belt, bend your knees, bend. You can get the belt up here instead of here. Yep, up under your armpits. Up under, no, you can do it on down.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep it here. Lie down. So now it's under your armpits more, right? There you go. And then you need to just relax, try to relax, right? Don't straighten your knees, bend your knees, relax. Breathe. Good. Do a little more. Is that better?
Right.
You don't have to hold. Yep. Yep, from the belt. Good. This is still a white line.
And you're, they're,
Yes.
they're a little piece.
Yeah.
All of that.
Me too.
I think so,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Better?
Mhm.
Loose.
Legs, so,
Yeah. Better?
yeah, right. Other way.
But, good. Relax your upper Yeah, just, no, straighten your legs as you're able, and then arms, yeah, there you go. Oh, sorry. Loosen this a little. Okay. Yeah, so perpendicular. Yeah. Yeah, so you can loosen this a little. You're a little bit too close, yeah. Yeah. It's pretty easy, right? Yeah. Yes.
Well, I also want me to do something.
And we will look better.
Better, and then you need to roll back a little. Well, no, this way. Yeah, try that. Get it a bit more.
Fall.
Yeah. Release, and go back this way.
So we gotta push it out a little.
Yeah. Huh? Is that good?
Yeah.
Socks. Yeah, so you got your attention. Yeah, and that's the 10 seconds, this is a row of bullets, so now you're like, you're using a support to find that. Yes. Tensegrity, yeah.
Is that a real word?
It is, yeah, it's a real word.
What does it mean?
That Westminster Buck Fuller, is that his name?
Yeah.
Buckminster West,
Yeah.
whatever it is. He designed that, right?
Yeah.
Buckminster Fuller, and Tom Myers, a Joshua guy, yeah, the Jim Stone. He studied with him, anyway, I think they coined that term, I don't know. But it's like, that's how our body is, right? So if something's tight here, it's gonna pull us out of behind it. So we basically exist in this web of connective tissue. It's so much more than we really, it's everywhere in our entire body, nervous system, blood vessels, brain, everywhere.
So what does that word mean?
So that's what it means, a system of ropes and bounds. Integrity. So that's where you're learning how to use this. And then you have to figure out ways to do that with your own body, using some muscular effort and releasing other places, right? That's how your body works. Okay, so now you're gonna bend your left knee and bring your left leg down, keeping your right leg up.
Take it out of the state.
Yep. So you might need to remove that blanket under your hips now.
Do this.
You lift your hips and remove that blanket. Now straighten your left leg out. There you go. So flip it on your Shavasana number 1. Bend this knee, bend this knee, take this out.
Bring it out.
Straighten your left leg. So you can adjust, now you can adjust the belt every time you move. You can adjust, try to bend this bottom leg, bend this knee. And then bend this knee, get it higher, tighten the room, and then straighten this leg first. Better?
Yeah.
Kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the bottom leg is straight as in Tadasana. So then, take a breath, bend your knees and change legs. Bend both knees, change legs. So left leg up, right leg straight. Yeah, and if you don't have a long enough belt, you can just hold the belt, right? Instead of making a loop. Yeah, that's fine. But get your elbows on the ground. Get your elbows on the ground. Yeah. So you need a big belt, Lena, next time. Good. Yeah. And observe, right? So that you're not hiking that hip up. So still roll that outer left hip and thigh down and don't go more than perpendicular, okay? Yeah. And instead of the inner foot for the outer foot back. So maintain Tadasana actions minimally, not maximally. So hardening the top of the foot and not foot. Okay for you? Okay. Keep rolling the outer left hip and thigh away, so those sitting bones maintain their neutral position. Now, bend and change, go back to the right leg up. And you can keep adjusting the belt where it is under your, higher up under your armpits is the best. You know, so you don't want to be shoving your bottom of your shoulder blade in, right? You want to get more at the top, right, rather than the armpits. Then you can be heavily pressing down there. Yes, once you've extended the left leg, take a breath, and then slowly take your right leg back to the side. This is fun. And then ladies, you can adjust the belt strap, right? If it's hitting you in an awkward place.
You know what I mean.
Oh, yes.
You can adjust it, Susan, down, under your breast, or up, yes, there you go. So you don't turn everything, yeah, keep your head centered. Don't turn your head, keep your head centered, your head, yes, extend your arms out to the side. Good, that's enough, right, just there, okay? Huh? Thumbs up, yeah, unless you need it, but you still have the turn, you still have the turn, yeah, so you maintain Tadasana, yeah. No, this is so. I know, we did this with Matt, one of my young teachers the other day, I love it, so I'm doing this, because he has to have a shoulder surgery for his labrum. So, so we did this in class, and it was really fun, and it was like, yeah. Good, so then you inhale, raise that leg up, exhale, bend both knees, change leg, left leg up, right leg down, and then you take the left leg out to the side. Keep adjusting the belt as needed, right, because one leg is tighter than the other, but first straighten the right leg, yeah. And be in Tadasana before you begin to take that leg out to the side, right? So as the left leg goes out to the side, the torso, the hips, the waist has to turn to the right, the ribs. It's either up or down, so it's not really, so, you can adjust this a little. Wait, bend both knees, adjust it. Yes, kind of. Yeah, I think that gives you a movement, right? Yeah. So, yes, this is good for you. You do this at home. Yes. Yes, yes, Sir Amba, that's what my favorite church calls him, Sir Amba. That's my spiritual name.
That's a pretty good
Yes, this is fun, right? I know.
Also allows you when I was reading. Get this.
Yes.
Or the old.
Exactly. Good, now come up. Change legs, we have two more I'd like to explore with you. So now your right leg is up, left leg is down. And then you go across, right? Now, when you go across, the first time across is more like hard reach Trikonasana. So stay in Tadasana, both hips on the ground, and just go a little bit across. Okay? Yeah, so left leg stays in Tadasana. Yes. Yes, that's right. Yeah, just a little bit across. It's not a huge amount, but still it's very good, right? That outer IT band and hip. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's different than doing the full twist. Yeah. Different and good. Okay, now to go to the full twist, you bend your left leg. Lift your hips, move your hips to the left, extend your left leg. And then you can go, but still, you want to keep the right leg in line with the hip, so don't go lower than the hip. And you're on the outside of your left leg. I should have really broken that up for you, sorry. But you got it, yeah, you got it, yes. So don't try to get your right foot to the ground, keep your right foot in line with your right hip. So this is like when you keep the hot spot like this, right? Yes. Exactly. That's not extend. Yes, sister, and turn the ribs and the waist this way. Yeah, it's great. Yes, and breathe. All this and breathe too. So the hip and the lower waist goes one way, while the ribs and the chest go the other. Definition. Yeah. Very good. Fun, isn't it? Yeah. Head on your head. Don't move your head. Yeah. Breathe. Breathe. Keep your head. And it's in. Tadasana. Good. And this. There. Really on that side. Yeah. Yes, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Yeah. Good, and then you come up, push pull, bend your left knee, and just do this. And change leg. Fun. So you can break those two up. Yeah, I should have done. But just in the essence of time, right? So these things, like he said in the beginning of our class, we did Sukta, he's like, the problem with Sukta is you'll be here all day. You never get off the floor, right? Yeah, but it's also good. So then the left leg goes, you have it around the left leg, right? And it's under your armpits. And the first thing is just that little bit going across, maintaining Tadasana. Whew. This one's tight. It's interesting how you feel different things than you normally feel, And you go, oh, wow. Oh, I see. Something's happening here. Yes, Graham. Everybody's tight in the left.
Yeah.
What's that about? Yep, just maintain Tadasana, don't take it too far from. Just like that, that's enough, just that much. Yeah, then you can go into the full twist by bending your right knee and shifting your hips a few inches over to the left. When you extend the right leg, you roll all the way to the outside edge of the right hip and foot and bring your left leg in line with the left hip, not lower. And you can adjust the belt if you need to. Yep. Better or worse?
The back of my leg is not.
There, okay, let's start. And you can turn the palms up. No, roll to the outside, there. Yes. Yeah. Good. So when you roll, for the second part, you're going all the way to the outside of this one. Yeah. Like that. And so you extend this arm. Keep the head centered. That's not centered. Breathe. Good. Straighten this. Yeah. But the outside edge of that foot. Yes, like that. Relax a little bit. You don't have to do too much. Good. And then wait. So this next one, bend your knee, bend your hip, move your hip this way, stand. This is part 2 of the twist. Yeah. Good. Yes. Okay. So with this one, you're all the way. That's the edge of this hip and leg. But this stays about there. You're on the side. Yes, like that. Yes. Good. Yeah. Good. All right, and then come on up. Come back to 2 legs in the belt for a few breaths. Yes, everybody's there already. Happiness. Good. Yes, Fran. Bend your knees. Bend your knees and roll up like you didn't. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Happiness now. You're smiling. Is that a good? Good. Okay. Good. And then bend your knees. Release and come out. Okay. Little supported bridge. You got your 2 blocks there. Right. So you can do a flat block. And if blocks are too close, you can do a blanket or 2. Right. Take your time. You can go to the skinny end of the flat block. You can go to 2 flat blocks. You can go to 2 blocks side by side, if you want to go really high. But don't force, right? Roll the shoulders under with the chest. You can stay there, or you can take your legs up. You can do that. So, up to you. So keep the abdomen hollow and soft. And if you just want to rest, you can do that, but it's nice to elevate the hips for a few breaths after this. Open the front. No, keep the hips on the, come down, Graham, with your legs slowly, bend your knees, bring your feet flat, all the way down, good. Now, take the blankets out from under your head. Yes. Good, and then remove one of the blocks. Yeah, so that's flat block right there. Now, stay there. And yeah, so also for you, ideally, you're pushing your chin too much, Yeah. Widen your feet a little. Good. Bend your elbows like this, on the ground, one side, lift your chest and lower your shoulders like that. Like this. Open your hand. Here. Press down, and stay here, so you're right over your elbow. Keep your hips down, lift your chest, lower your shoulders, yes. Now just relax your arms, they just did that to adjust your shoulder blades and upper back. It's a rest. Yeah. There's some engagement to get in. Just one leg at a time, you're too tight for that. Okay, no, keep both knees bent, one leg straight. Yes, that's enough for you, right? And also with blanket. Okay, now. Bring the feet in. Let's get rid of this. That's a little too close. Good. Now, press into your feet, lift your hips. Okay, now lower. That should be in your sacrum, you might need to. And your elbow, lift your chest, lower your shoulders, and then relax. And you can stay, so once you've done that, then just relax. So the idea is to use the arms to get the shoulder blades in, and then relax the arms, but keep it lift here. Keep that good. Little lift. Yeah. Good. Then when you're ready to come down, you come down, bending your knees one by one. Move before you extend your leg, you might want to move your knees away from your head. Right? So they're closer to the ground and less. And then come out stage by stage, take your time. Yeah. Yep, and you can extend your leg if you like with the flat block. Or even that may be a little strong. But that's a little strong. Then you need to lift your hips. Take one block away. And long skinny edge, not in your lower back, more towards your tailbone for this extension of the legs. Lift the chest, yeah. That's better. Right? Now we can go here.
No, that's in my legs.
No, I think it's enough. You now lift your hips and flat the block. Move it more towards your tailbone. Flat block, more towards your tailbone. More towards your tailbone. Yes. Take a breath and it's there. And then extend one leg on the ground. No.
On the ground.
And the other one does it. Double press like that. Good. And then you line up the back, you can remove the block and come out with the Shavasana. Okay, and you might want to do a little Supta, Supta Baddha-Konasana, if you like. You just go right to Shavasana. Or Supta Sukhasana, right? So if that feels good to you, feet together, knees apart, just flat on your back for a couple of breaths. Or cross legs, a couple of breaths. Right, you can do all those if you like, a little bit of each. And then at some point, move to straight leg Shavasana. And then rest. You can have something under your head, you can have something under your knees. Whatever you need. So that your body can relax, right? So you don't want to be shoving your chin into your chest, right? You want to have softness in the front of the throat. And in general, like if you have big gaps under your knees, then you want to have something under your knees. So to fill the gap, so your body can relax into that softness under your knees. Same thing for the head and neck. And remember in the beginning of class how we were exploring the body in Shavasana. So do that now. So adjust the distance between your feet and legs. Observe how the feet and legs turn out. Observe the buttocks, the lower back, the shoulder blades, the arms. Move props out of the way. If you're touching a prop that you don't want to feel, and just be careful of your neighbor, so that you want to be really relaxed and letting go. Shavasana is so important. I mean, right? We're all going to die. That's the end. So And what we don't know what it means, nobody, for sure, right? But we know the body is gone. So it's a practice of letting go, of the holding onto the body, right? Fernanda, take the blanket, you have too much in your head. Yeah. Yeah. And then just 5 minutes of quiet, and peace, body and breath. And if you start to get irritated for whatever reason or anything, let it go. Come back to the breath, to the body. Taking a little deeper. Right. Ready, and then begin to awaken your body. Make any movements that you would like. And then taking your time when you're ready, bend your elbows one by one, bend your knees one by one. Roll to your side and rest there for a few breaths in fetal position. With a nice round soft back, and rest your head down from your body. Be peaceful and gentle, quiet, and take your time, and when you're ready, make your way to sitting. And we'll do our closing chant. If you don't know the chant, you can just listen in. Imagine the room, beautiful closing. Closing chant means moving from the unreal to the real, from ignorance to wisdom, from this mortal life to immortal realization. And this is whole, that's whole. If you take the whole from the whole yet remains whole, everything is complete and whole. Both individually and collectively. Okay. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. We'll do it together. Take a deep breath in. From. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Rishoma Yutamgamaya Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishrate Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a deep breath, and then as you exhale, bow the head once again to the heart, and release the hands to the thighs, and pause with a leap. Keeping the eyes closed, on an inhale, slowly curl up the back of the neck. Pause for a moment with the eyes closed. Soften and broaden your internal gaze and widen and expand in all directions, sensing and feeling. And then allow your eyelids to gently float open. That's it. Thanks. That was fun. Yeah, that was different. I hope you liked it. It's sometimes good to explore things in different ways. Okay, Lena, good to have you back.
Thank you. Yes, I'm glad. That was so great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. Could you hear me okay?
Yes, I was doing yoga all the time with the sunrise.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So do you think that 2 cameras is a good idea? I'm going to try to mount it on the wall.
For me, I prefer one camera. I can see.
Oh, okay, because it's too small on your screen. Yeah,
Yeah, for
gotcha.
me.
Okay, all right. Margie, what do you think?
I think it was okay to have 2 cameras. Sometimes so if you get 2 perspectives, and that can be helpful.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, we'll explore. We'll see how it goes. We're figuring it out. But you could hear okay? Everything?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
See you next time. Have a good day. Thanks, guys.
It's
Say again?
nice to see the full house.
Yes, I know. Next time you're in town, you'll have to come in and see everyone. Robin says hi, but you can't see her. She's in the corner.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. See you next time. Bye, Morgie.
Honor, how did you get on Wednesday?